Engineers on the Xbox. Welcome back to my series, my tutorial series on stuff to do with Space Engineers. This is running on my Series X, and it's a quick look at one of the blocks that was added during Warfare 1. I've seen a few people talk about these, and I wanted to clarify a few things that you may or you may not know. So, here we go. First of all, the target dummy is a self-repairing dummy that you can use to test out weapons with. That's not its only function, but that's the function I'm talking about for this first part of the video. It will not repair itself without steel plates. And to do that, you need to place it on top of a conveyor pipe or a conveyor block, like one of these. You'll see I have 3 of these set up. These dummies react to the new weapon damage mechanics that were introduced in Warfare 1. Warfare 1 brought about a whole new raft of improvements to the ground combat of Space Engineers. I've spoken about this on my DLC showcase for Warfare 1, but what I didn't go into are the dummies themselves. This is the S10. I'm going to pump 20 or 30 rounds into the chest of this dummy, because I've seen people say that these weapons don't do much, or the dummies take too much damage to destroy. And in terms of Space Engineers, you are firing at the center mass of a dummy or a person. But this game has now got hit locations. These dummies take less damage to destroy the arms. And where we pumped about 20-30 shots into the center mass, if we shoot the head of the dummy with this pistol, you'll see it takes less shots to destroy it. The dummy won't regenerate, by the way, unless you completely destroy it. But the weapons have their own damage rating. So the S20A, for instance, headshots much faster than the S10. Like so. If you want to manually reload, by the way, hold down the left bumper, tap X. The S10E is more powerful than the S10. Again, you'll notice headshots cause far more damage than regular center mass shots. So these dummies are actually performing as they should. And when you're in survival, if you want them to repair themselves, you need to connect them up to a system that allows metal plates to flow to each dummy. What I've done here is I've set up a refiner, a basic, an assembler. Could have just used a basic assembler, but I wanted to use the proper assembler. Some pipes and conveyors that link to these conveyor blocks with the dummies on. Now, what you want is you want materials in your refinery. So just throw a bunch of stone in to get the basic materials. And then you want to press X on your assembler and go to the production. And what we need to repair these dummies are these things here. steel plates. And what you can do is you can set that assembler. If you move over to the right hand side menu, remember you can use the left stick to navigate these menus a lot quicker than trying to use the D-pad. And press A once, you will enable repeat mode. We want a steel plate. Now, you'll hear that ticking away. And you can have a central cargo mass involved in this system as well if you want. So we could, for instance, break that pipe there. So let's just briefly do that. In creative, remember you can remove a block with the left trigger. Shown you how to do that before. And instead, we can throw in a lovely cargo box. And now we can re-establish that connection. And it's just so that we could store the plates in the cargo. But what will happen in survival is when these get damaged, they'll pull what they need, those metal plates, out of your assembler. And as long as you've got iron ingots and everything, you can just leave an assembler like that on repeat mode, churning away to make those lovely steel plates that are required. If you want to see what's going on with your assemblers, you have to come down to assembler, press A, and then choose the one you want, which is assembler dummies. It has its own inventory, and you can see that from the right hand side screen. If you change the filter, there's 78 steel plates. More than enough to enable our dummies. Dummies have another function. If we open up the control panel on a dummy, you'll see that dummies have a regeneration delay. You can turn off its regeneration so that you can literally use it once. But you can also link it to an action. So, for example, we could put a rotating light on the grid. Go to the control panel, find the rotating light, turn it off. Go to our third target dummy and set of actions. From the set of actions menu, we find our rotating light and we toggle it on. So now when our dummy takes fire, our rotating light turns on. You can use this for a variety of things. You could, if you were feeling particularly mean, build a booby trap. Let's save this first. You could build a booby trap. Let's imagine our corridor, shall we? And if you watch my new player guide about building creative, you'll learn how to build using that block method. Now imagine, if you will, that I'm trying to remember where this is because I don't use them often. Let's get our friend here. We can't move past him. So, imagine you have a blocked corridor. Your enemy cannot get down it, so your enemy pulls out their gun. And let's see if we can get it to work. It may not work, because I may not have actually armed the warhead correctly. But, no, okay, so it didn't work. But you can use these things as a switch. I probably haven't used the warhead correctly. We needed to arm it. All good fun. So I record these live. This was just an idea that I came up with as I was doing this. Let's change this. And we'll do. If it doesn't work, then there we go. Booby trap. Ouch. And there is a look at target dummies. I will eventually be looking at a new mod from Ganymede. The production tech mod at the moment has some issues on the mod radial. It only shows 2 of the blocks. Until that's fixed, I won't be able to showcase it, but when it's fixed, I will be looking at it. Until then, I will stay safe, take care, have fun, enjoy the game. There's a lot more to come on Space Engineers, especially fairly soon. I believe we're going to see some more news. Until then, have fun. And bye for now. Ta-ta.